In this video, I want to show you how to grade discussion forums using a rubric. The first thing you have to do is add the rubric to the rubric manager in the course where you want to use the rubric. You do that by going to the Manage tab, Rubric Manager, click the Add Hyperlink, and if you click this link, you can create a new rubric by following the on-screen instructions. You can also copy or link to a rubric that you have in another course or store it in your lore. If you choose to use a rubric that's stored in your lore, you should use the copy function rather than the link function, because if you link to a rubric that's stored in your lore, that rubric won't always open correctly. Once you get your rubrics loaded, as this rubric is loaded, you have to attach the rubric to a content item. Let's go to Lessons. Rubrics can be attached to discussion forums or drop boxes. In this case, we'll attach the rubric to this discussion forum, and we do that by clicking the Settings hyperlink under the discussion forum, clicking the Assignment tab, and you can do this while you're setting your discussion forum up. In the Grading Rubric area, you click this drop-down menu and you choose one of the rubrics that is displayed here. The only rubrics that will display are rubrics that you have loaded into the Rubric Manager in this course. I have only one rubric loaded, so I'll click it. If you want students to be able to see your rubric before they complete the assignment so that they can see what you base their grades on, you put a check mark in this box. You also put a check mark in this box because, of course, you want the graded rubric to show after you've completed grading this discussion forum. You save your settings, and this rubric is now attached to the discussion forum. If you chose to display the rubric before students make a submission, this is what students will see when they click the discussion forum to complete their assignment. Logged in as a student, the student clicks the discussion forum to complete his post. He clicks New Post, and if he scrolls below the posting window, he will see the link to the grading rubric right here. If he clicks it, the rubric will open, and he can see how you will arrive at his grade. There are two ways to grade a forum. You can use the grade forum function, or you can use scoring. To use the grade forum function, you click the Submissions hyperlink under the forum. You click Grade Forum, and this sheet will open. When you use the grade forum function, you're grading the entire forum for a student. In other words, if the student made 2 posts, as these students did, you assign 1 grade that covers both posts. In other words, you're not grading each post individually. Number 2, when you enter a grade into the gradebook grade column, that grade posts automatically to Angel's gradebook. To grade a student's posts, you first click his name so that you can read the posts. After you read the student's posts, you can click out of this. You click View Grading Rubric in the gradebook grade column, and scroll down so that you can use your rubric to assign a grade to this forum. You simply click the appropriate boxes in each area of your rubric to assign a grade. In other words, if you think the relevance, length, quality, development is good, you would click this box. If you think grammar, punctuation, and spelling is excellent, you would click this box. And you can see that the rubric is going to assign 91 points to this student's posts. That means the 91 points cover all of the student's posts. You click Save. The grade appears under Gradebook Grade and will automatically be posted to Angel's gradebook once you click Submit Grades. We can grade the other students' posts the same way. We click the student's name, read his posts, click out of it, click View Grading Rubric, and assign his grades. We click Save to save this grade and grading rubric, and those grades will post automatically to Angel's gradebook as soon as I submit the grades. This is what the student sees after you grade a forum using the grade forum function. Logged in as a student, the student would click the discussion forum link. At the top of the page, he can see his grade. He received a 91 out of 100 possible points, and if he clicks the link, he will see the rubric that you used to arrive at that grade. The other way to grade a discussion forum is to use scoring. Before you can use scoring, you have to enable it in the discussion forum, and you do that by clicking the Settings hyperlink, clicking the Interaction tab, and you can do this while you're setting your discussion forum up. You have to make sure that Score has a check mark next to it, and that Maximum Instructor Rating Score has a number in this box. The number indicates how many points maximum you will assign to an individual post. You save your settings, and you're now ready to use scoring to grade this discussion forum. When you use scoring, number one, you are assigning a score to each individual post in a forum. Number two, those scores do not post to Angel's gradebook. To use the scoring function, you don't click on the submissions hyperlink. You click on the forum itself. And when you get into the forum, I would suggest that you change the view to nested so that you can see all of the posts while you're assigning scores. And you should click these plus signs so that replies also display. To assign a score to each of these posts, you click the dashed line in the score column. You open your grading rubric, and you're now going to score this one post right here by clicking the appropriate boxes in the rubric. Notice that the rubric is assigning 79 points to this one post. However, you input a maximum score of 50. Watch what happens when I click Save. It's not going to assign 79 points. Instead, it assigns 39.5 points. The rubric has adjusted the score to match your maximum number of points. You can also include a private reply to the student by clicking Include Quick Reply, and keyboard a response that only the student can see in here, and save both your response and the grading rubric. And the score now appears in the score column, and you do this for each one of your students. When you're finished scoring each one of the posts in the discussion forum, these scores will not post automatically to Angel's gradebook. To post grades for this discussion forum to the gradebook, you must now click the Submissions hyperlink in the forum, Grade Forum, and your grade sheet will open, and it will show you how many posts the student made. And in the Earned Possible Percentage column, it shows you how many points you assigned when you scored each post, and then it shows you how many points are possible for the entire forum. You can use these earned points as the student's grade by inputting that 83.5 in the gradebook grade column. I'm not going to attach a rubric to this because I attached a rubric to each individual post. Some instructors include other components in a student's grade for the forum, so they may not use the sum of their scoring. They may use that as only part of the student's grade. It's up to you how you input a grade, but the scores themselves do not post to the gradebook. I use only scoring. I use the sum of the student's score, and then I submit the grades, and when I do, these grades will post automatically to the gradebook. This is what students see when you use scoring to grade a discussion forum. Logged in as the student would click the discussion forum link, and he can see his score right in the discussion forum window, and he should click these plus signs so that he can find scores for his responses as well as for his top level posts. He can see any private comments that I made to him. If he clicks one of his score links, the rubric on which you based his score opens. In order to see his grade for the entire forum, however, the student has to click out of the discussion forum itself, return to the course tab, and look at whatever mechanism you provide for students to see their grades, either My Grades in Course Tools or the Grades Nugget. And he can see his grade for the discussion forum by clicking one of those links. To summarize, there are two ways to grade a discussion forum. You can use the grade forum function. When you use that function, you are assigning one grade that covers all the students' posts collectively, and that grade automatically posts to Angel's Gradebook. You can use the scoring function, and when you do, you're grading each post for a student individually, and the scores for those posts do not post to Angel's Gradebook automatically. You must go through the second step of clicking the submissions hyperlink and posting grades to the gradebook.